Welcome back to another edition of the Down and Back of CornDoug. This week, big show. A show that I would probably, if you would have asked me a year and a half ago, will you get to hear? I would say I'm not sure I would. Show number 100 on YouTube. It's been a fun ride, trying at times, but still fun, nonetheless. I'm going to be here for many more. Uh, I've got a lot of people I can thank. I will do it in a bit. I'm going to talk about some news here. First off, did you guys catch that ACL Pro Shootout and the Open on the weekend? Last weekend there in Albany? Man, Octane. Talk about people throwing gas and kicking ass. That was happening all over the place. Mike Ferreira, just probably one of his tournament of a lifetime for him so far. I think solidifying his breakout player of the year. He partnered up with Chris Tornatola for the Pro Shootout in doubles, and they took third place, making it on the CBS Sports Network. Just missed it. Gary McGuffin took him down. It was almost like whenever I watched Mike play all weekend, Gary and McGuffin. It was just those two guys. But they are great players. I don't want to take anything away from them because there's no need to. But yeah, so they finished up third in that there. Ferreira then went on to play doubles in the Open, level 1 doubles, partnered up with Berkeley Pair, coming out with a fourth place finish there with Berkeley. Ran into Greg Geary, Jimmy McGuffin, knocked him into the losers bracket. They then lost again to Ty Cobb, Devin Harbaugh to get fourth place in there. Then Emperor kind of then went, hold my beer, I'm going on a run. And watching that run, taking down Jimmy Humans, John Kitchen, Trey Birchfield, and then playing for the king seat, he plays Greg Geary, and I was like, oh, I seen that, and I was like, oh, it's gonna be Geary again, but no, Mike this time took out Greg Geary, get himself in the king seat, and while that was going on, all of a sudden, I look over to the other side and lower in the bracket, and here's Bobby making a run up the other side. Bobby Sperry on the show this week. Bobby Sperry, we talk more about that. He gets a seventh place finish on that, coming up to the losers bracket. Like I said, we'll talk more about his tournament. Well, I won't say much more about his tournament. He had one where he was like one of his personal bests as well too. So Emperor ends up getting double dipped by Birchfield, unfortunately in the final. I think Birchfield was probably coming out for blood after what happened in their game with the winners bracket side. I unfortunately was away. We were picking up an adopted dog at the airport in Toronto, and so I had to watch through the ACL score zone. So I don't complain much about the ACL, but the score zone, those scores got to be updated quicker because that was painful watching that game because Mike was down big. I think I started watching it again or kind of keeping track of the score when it was 20-10 for Trey Birchfield. Then all of a sudden it was 20-12. Then a couple minutes later, I'm like refreshing, getting the open and closing. I see 20-16, and I'm like, he's got a shot. Trey just needs that 1 point, but we all know that when you're on 20, unless you're playing me, that 1 point is the hardest to get. And all of a sudden, the app refreshed, and it's flashing up 21-20 Ferreira. And I'm like, oh, he did it. to get to that game to play Greg Geary. So it was Mike tournament for him, picking up a third, a fourth, and a second. Just a great showing from him. Throwing the kinetic bags in the pro shootout, the doubles pro shootout with Chris Tornatola, and then Saturday and Sunday throwing his boosted bags. Now I was thinking he was throwing the slick side down with the boosted, because I could see the boosted logo on the bag as he was throwing it, and for me that's the reverse suede side of the boosted. But then I talked with Matt, and Emperor's got logos on both sides, so he was like, that's something I'd never seen Matt do on boosted bags before, so kind of threw me off. So Ferrer was actually throwing stick side down, so the reverse suede side down, and those bags were still moving. It was just great to see that. With people were talking about the sticky boards and the boosted still able to go, so that's just a great testament to those bags that Matt uses or makes, and and those pros use at those big events. So great day for a great weekend for Octane. Melissa Morrison, we're going to give her a shout out as well too. She comes home 5th in the women's singles in the pro shootout. And with that one there, winning that. So winning the winners for the pro shootout coming out were Jamie Graham beat Mac Guy, and I don't know, Mac Guy seems to be off. I don't want to say I question that win, but it was just Matt just looked really, really off to give Jamie that W and a second fire cornhole person in the finals for the pro shootout. Women's come out. Rosie Streaker, tough luck again in the final. She got to the final this time, losing to Lori Duell. Then in doubles, trying to think of the doubles team that won. Is it Cobb and Harbaugh won that, I believe. I want to say it was Cobb and Harbaugh won that. They're beating, I think they beat McGuffin and Geary in the final. So, some big names, some newer name. Ty Cobb is just if you haven't watched him throw, check out some of his videos. He's another good young thrower. So that was that. So getting on to some other stuff, Sox news for Southern Ontario Cornhole Series news. Essex, we now have a team from Essex in, so that puts up to 7 or 8 teams. I know Essex will be putting in another team as well coming up, because they have like 75 people in their league. They can surely get another 10 players to play in that, so that's great. We got a team from Essex. Evan has put a team in. And if you're out here listening, doesn't matter what league you play in, or what ACL, whatever, it doesn't matter. Don't let anyone tell you different. You can play in the Southern Ontario Cornhole Series. As long as you're a league in Southern Ontario, you can play. So I know that there's a bunch. If someone is telling you that you are not allowed to play out there, tell them to take a hike and sign up for this year, because it's going to be a fun event. Playing other players from across Ontario, Southern Ontario, then playing in a final. Because I'm going to tell you right now, no one in Ontario is going to put on an event like you'll see here with this. So that. So coming back to the 100th show on YouTube here, I got a long list of people I need to shout out to, just that have helped me along the way, who've kind of come and at a moment's notice will come on the show. If I need someone on the show, I can message them. Come on, I know my first multiple guest, Jay Corley. He was on that first live show, and I got to talk with him. That was kind of right after he was doing some of the stuff with that other big guy in the state. I forget. It was the kicker for the Colts. Totally forget his name now. I guess he's not important. But yeah, so Jay Corley on the show. Great guy. Some things I remember: Jordan Kamba. If you go back, watch the Jordan Kamba show, talking about the real life GTA that he did with a couple of the other guys in their travels. I got to thank Frank Modlin. He come on. He was great on the show. Trey Ryder. Probably the reason why I started doing the podcast is watching the Throwdown, watching Trey, and have Trey come on like 4 or 5 times. Another one of my funnest moments was surprising Trey with Timothy Pitcher coming in to ask him questions, or to ask him that question, which, come to think of it now, looking back, Timothy was right. He had not been on that that competition thing that they do at the ACL, where they picked 3 players, the 3 people to play against 3 other people. Because Leston Allen, his partner, was. Timothy wasn't. That I want to thank Robbie Graham, give him a shout out. But I think the biggest of all, a couple people. One thing I'm able to message anytime. He'll always get back to me. We talk cornhole, we talk stuff. Mike Morton, him and Matthew were on the show. They were on a live show. Right after Matthew got a couple big wins, and it was great to see, to have him, to be able to talk with him, because he's such a young guy, to get his kind of view on stuff, and then to talk with Mike, and everyone is knowing just how kind of where Mike has gone with his stuff. So those are great guys. But then the biggest people who have helped me, especially with getting my name in the Northeast, and then even out to some of the other people, because they've given me a bunch of shout outs, and that is the guys at the Doghouse, Brendan and Donnie. They've come on here a bunch of times. I've gone into Donnie's Zoom chats. If anyone hasn't been in one of those, once he does them again, you've got to get into one of those, because they are just insane. Now Pat McCracken is now with them on their show, but just the shout outs that they give me, no matter if it's Donnie talking about the great white Canadian snowdrift after I did the Mohawk, to give my nod to them in the one online virtual thing, or Brendan taking Emperor in a draft and then talking about me painting the walls. You'll have to go back and listen to their thing. But it's those guys have really, they've kind of helped me along, get my name out there with some of the other people, because it's that's the thing. I think that this, especially the Cornhole podcast community, there's just some divides with some people, is that we need to come in and just be able to grow this game. Donnie, if you're listening, I know you just smiled because you loved me saying that. Grow this game together, because that's the only way we're going to do it. It's just, it's them. And then lastly, thanking the sponsors. I could not have done this here without Octane Cornhole, octanecornhole.com. Use discount code CornDoug. You heard that on show number 3 way back. I think it was my last show when you had to huddle around the computer and listen to the audio version just on Facebook. So that's octanecornhole.com, discount code CornDoug, 10% off there. Get all your stuff. You can get your hats. Soon to be some other stuff coming up there with down and back stuff. MyEarFund.com, Earfund coming on board, helping me out with the earbuds. You can get the Bluetooth speakers. Discount code CornDoug there will get you 20% off. Then JC Cornhole with the boards, best boards in the business. I know people will tell you otherwise, but I am telling you, JC Cornhole, the best boards around. Solid, sturdy. Well, you can do any of those boards. Jamie does just an amazing job making them. I get to watch him make them. I don't touch them, so they will be great boards. Talk to him. He'll help you out with boards, whatever you need, custom design, anything you need. Jamie will do it for you. Then Sierra Property Inspections, sierrahome.com. If you're in the Sherwood Park, Alberta area in Alberta, check out Darren there. He does great work. He's if you even check him out on Facebook, always putting stuff out there on stuff to look for your house. Some stuff that it's great. Check Darren out on Facebook, Sierra Property Inspections. Give him a like. Let him know that you've seen it on here, and that I sent you. Give him some help. And yeah, so with that, another guy, like I said on the top of the show, Bobby Sperry on the show, another guy who I've been able to contact him a few times and say, hey Bobby, I got someone's canceled, they can't do it. Can you come on, jump in and talk? And he's always said, yeah, he'll come on, do it and talk. And always have a lot of fun talking with him because he's a guy who helps me get wins now when I get to play with him. So without further ado, here is off a great weekend in Albany. ACL Pro, Octane, Bag Thrower, Mr. Bobby Sperry.
You say win. Okay.
So here we are with Bobby Sperry, the ACL Pro Bobby Sperry, the Octane Throwing Bobby Sperry. Bobby, welcome to the show.
Hey, thanks for having me, Doug.
I guess it should almost be welcome back to the show, because if people who have followed the show remember way back when we used to have to huddle around your computer and just listen to the audio version on Facebook when you were on show number 2.
Yeah, I think the very first time that you and I done something like this was maybe up in Kitchener in somebody's basement. It might have been Jamie's basement.
It was in the JC compound cornhole basement.
Yes.
Surrounded by cornhole bags and boards.
Absolutely.
In his basement.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
That seems like it was a long time ago.
Back when I think that almost might have been one of my last wins up here, because I was able to, lucky enough to pair up with you in a crew cup game, and I just kind of rode your coattails.
Yeah, we shocked the whole league up there, or the whole tournament up there. We won that crew cup. Yeah, they didn't expect us to win that.
Back fun times when we could actually play up here. I can't wait for that time to get you back up here playing and having some more fun.
Yeah, we need to get that border open. As soon as they get that border open, I plan on coming up and visiting everybody and just hanging out and having a good time, for sure.
Well, speaking of good times, you kind of had one on the weekend up in Albany at the Pro Shootout and the Open.
Yeah, Albany was a real good turnout. I went. It was Friday night was our advanced blind draw, and I was lucky enough to draw Jersey J, and he's a very solid player. We lost our first game, and then we went on a run and won 9 straight. End up second place. We lost the championship game. I believe it was 21-18 or 21-17. The guys who beat us ended up winning the Open shootout, or the Open, the doubles Open. The one partner was, and just a great group of guys, and we played well. I finally put a whole day together. And then Saturday,
you go to Saturday with the Pro Shootout and the singles. You had another, I think, pretty solid run there as well too.
Yeah, I won my first 2 games in the Pro Shootout, and then I ran against a red hot Tice Cobb, and he ended up winning the pro doubles. And I lost that game. Then I won a few more, and I ran into the Chavez guy, and he was the winner of the Open. So I lost to two champions. So I have I throwed well. I finally put a solid weekend in of playing and felt good playing.
Well, yeah, you got the tied for 17th there. Then you go to the next stage to the Open. And then you're partnered up with Paul, which I believe is he local with you, playing with you?
Yes, he is. He's a local advanced player here in Buffalo, Paul Viapano. Him and I, we was 5-2 in the rounders, which put us in tier 1, and we had a good day. We really did. We was down 1 game, 20-0. And it was the last game in the rounders. And if we win, we go to tier 1. If we lose, we go to tier 2. And we came back and won 22-20. and that momentum carried over to doubles, and then we just ran into a couple of hot players, and we just couldn't. My game got off a little bit, hitting a few bags left or right that normally didn't do that, but they did for the doubles, open doubles.
Well, still with that, it's you still a top 25 finish in doubles with the teams that were there. I think it's still a solid finish.
Oh, absolutely, yes. I have no qualms with our finish. It's just a few every game you throw, Doug. You can look back. I can look back on every game, win or lose, and say this shot or that shot, no matter what the score is or was. And you always want to do better and improve. But yeah, we had a great doubles, and then carried into singles and played well in singles as well.
Oh, well, that's singles. I unfortunately I wasn't able to watch anything because we just got adopted a dog, so I now have a CornDoug as part of the show here now. But so I was at the airport in Toronto waiting for that to come in from the Bahamas, and I'm like, man, like I'm watching Mike go on his run. Right, and I'm messaging back and forth with Matt and Jamie here, and all of a sudden I'm like, "Holy crap!" Bobby's going on a run as well too. There was like two of you guys going, and it's just,
Yeah, we actually watched a lot of each other's games, Mike and myself. Mike and I are good friends, and we tend to root one another on when we go to these things. And Mike's a super nice guy, and I played great. Mike played great. We both had great weekends, and it was finally a win for Team Octane, as far as I'm concerned.
Well, like I believe, was that one of your first top 10 finishes as a pro in one of these big tournaments?
Yes.
Well, you finished tied for 7th, which is and you were still playing against a solid player.
Yeah, I tell you that it was all the pros that was left was Birchfield, McGuffin, Greg Geary, Tice Cobb. I mean, it was all top guys. Mike Fiera. It was all top 5 pros. Was the only ones left in there. So it was a very good, solid performance for the weekend.
Well, and I know listening to some of the people that were saying that the boards are really sticky there again, as like another open where there's sticky boards. So what did you do to try and kind of combat that with those boards?
I throw my Octane Kinetics. Those bags move on them. I don't care what the board conditions are. Those bags they move, sticky or not sticky. If it's a real fast board, then they move. They're hole friendly. That's just that's the bag I threw the whole weekend, and I wouldn't have changed anything. I seen guys throw in some of your other bags, your carpet bags, some of the other slower bags, and they was getting bad hops, bad jumps, and with the kinetics, I pushed a lot of kinetics on a lot of people there. Those bags just seem to move on sticky boards.
Well, I think that was the great thing for Octane is you were throwing the kinetics there, and I believe Mike was throwing his boosted bags. Yes. I'm not sure what he threw. Not sure what he threw on there on Sunday in the singles because I didn't get a chance to look at him. But
he threw his boosted on Sunday.
Well, and they're another bag that'll move on a sticky board as well.
Yes. The boosted bags is another bag and Mike throws those boosted as good as anybody that I've ever seen, for sure. I'm just a big fan of the kinetics right now.
Well, I'm a fan of both because they both help my game tremendously to make me actually look better than what I am. So
they help my game too, Doug. They're a hole friendly bag.
Well, seeing as Mike had your regular partner on for the pro shootout and the doubles, maybe you can get Tornado to start throwing kinetics.
He threw kinetics there, and that's my plan. That's the plan for the World Championships. Is we're going to throw the kinetic bags.
Yeah, and that's I'm still hoping. I haven't counted myself out to being able to come down to watch you guys down there because everyone knows there's not a chance of getting into that tournament on any kind of way after.
I'm sure you saw that today that everything's sold out in just a few hours. It's just crazy. I've never seen that it was just that fast. Well, they even put more spots in.
I'm going to compare it to the way Cleveland went because Cleveland went that fast as well too.
Yes. Cleveland went fast and then they canceled.
Yeah,
which upset a lot of people. But
That still hurts. That was my last actually kick at trying to play actual cornhole. But
Yeah, it wasn't long after that everything got shut down.
well, it was it was almost that weekend.
That was it was within a week or so everything just stopped thanks to our COVID stuff.
Yeah, so we're getting out of that. We're gonna have you back up here playing again to actually show us how to play again. But
well, I would love to come up there and just hang out and have a good time, and we'll throw some bags in the process.
Well, exactly. So for talking about showing us how to play, are you still doing your well? I guess once I guess you guys are kind of getting COVID a little better than us, but are you going to be starting up your clinics that you had before?
Yes. Now that we're finally getting things opened up and we can start getting more people allowed indoors, we have a club that we opened up, and we just upgraded to a bigger spot. So now I can get 13 sets of boards in there, and so I plan on starting the clinics back up here probably mid-July, and we'll go from there.
I guess it's been kind of things have been shut down for a while, but what was always your thing with showing new players how to, what to do? What did you trying to think of the right question here? What did you see? What people were maybe the wrong thing that they're doing coming in that you really had to change the most?
To get them to throw a flat bag and not ball it up and throw it like a bowling ball. Make them to try to get them to throw the flat bag that spins. That was the biggest challenge, because a lot of people play at campgrounds or their neighborhood, and they just ball the bag up like a ball and toss it like a softball. And that was probably the hardest thing to change, was to get them to throw the bag flat and spin it where they had a little more control. And then and they're like, well, I can't hit the board that way, and I'm telling them it doesn't matter where the bag goes. Just get the throw down, then we'll find the accuracy.
Well, exactly. And that was my thing, getting that down, and then talking with Matt and Jamie, and I even did another little video. It was everyone's wanting to throw those line drives. They see those hard throwers. You got the Dalton McClems, the guys like that, but the hard throwers are low and hard, and they're still getting it in. But it's that when you're throwing that faster bag, and I talked to Stephen Burnison about this, you almost need that arc. People are forgetting to put that arc in the bag and let the bag do the work.
Yes, we was in Florida, and we played down our brand new boards, and the boards were so fast you could set the bag on top and they would slide down without touching them. And that's why a lot of your guys who threw a hard low line drive bag, everything was going off the back. Everybody struggled with those boards. So the guys who had a higher arc done much better there. They had a better placement there. I tend to sometimes throw a lower trajectory bag just because of old habits are hard to break. When I started playing, I was throwing with the corn bags and duck cloth, and that's what we had to do. If you wanted to push a bag, you threw it low and hard. So now when I get these faster bags, I every once in a while I have that tendency to still throw too flat, too low, and sometimes I get lucky and it goes in the hole. Sometimes it goes off the back.
Yeah. The other thing I've noticed, and I've talked with Jamie Cowan about this from JC Cornhole, is we've noticed the boards at the last couple pro shootouts. Now I'm not sure if you were able to play with those the newer black boards that the ACL has for the shootout.
They're super fast.
Well, we kind of say that it's almost like they're different. I don't want to say textures, but they almost play very differently than the regular boards.
So I don't know 100% sure, but the rumor is there's a different finish on those, and that's going to be the finish that the ACL goes to next year. It's like I say, this is just rumored. I don't know 100% certain yes or no, but it's they call it a bulletproof finish. Now what that is, I'm not real sure but it's definitely, you can feel a difference in them. When you feel the board, you can feel it's a lot smoother, faster surface for sure. But those are very fast.
Well, yeah, we could just tell just by watching that there was a difference in play from those
Yes.
boards to the other ACL boards.
Yes. Absolutely. Without doubt. Big
So
difference.
so now that Albany is out of the way, what's up next for you?
State championships are next weekend, the June 18th and 19th. New York State Championships, which is also our conference / state championships. That will be the next, and that's in Albany area. They call it a firm sports arena is where we're playing at, and that's our next big event. And then after that, I'm on vacation for 2 weeks.
So then, do you plan on doing any more of the opens or that?
Yeah, so I get back from vacation, then I'll have to check the calendar and see where I'm heading to from there. But I'll be in Myrtle Beach for a couple weeks and be dinner with my brother, so we'll probably go play someplace, I'm sure.
I'll say a vacation to go play cornhole.
Yes, yes, absolutely correct.
So the thing I usually ask people on the show here, kind of lately here, is because there's that whole new thing in cornhole that people are always getting upset about now is the step over. Your thoughts on the step over?
I don't really care for it. It's more of a distraction to me than anything else. I don't know if there's any advantage or disadvantage other than to the opponent. It's am I a fan of it? No, I'm not a fan of it. But is it? So I don't know. I think next year that'll be illegal. I think they'll get rid of that because a lot of people has not really complained, but brought that up in conversations before. Now, is there advantage? I have no clue. I'm not a stepper. I stand still, so it doesn't really. If I step over, it's because I've had too many.
I think that happens to a lot of us.
And I'm falling, not walking.
Well, with that, I'm gonna have to get you up here because when I've went to do some R&D at Octane with some of the new bags, I have to. Sometimes I'll see Jamie Cowan there, and I'll need you to straighten him out because he likes to go like 8 feet or 10 feet wide to try and get a perfect angle around the board. So we need you to set him straight.
Yeah, just tell him every time he steps out about a foot or more, he loses like X amount of percentage of playing surface on the board that he's throwing for. So the further he steps out, the smaller his target is.
Well, the thing that we have to get with him is he wants to change the line in front of the board to be an arc, so that you're always 27 feet from the board. Because he says that if you move wide, you lose that 27 feet from the board. You're now further from the board.
Time put him in the hole, and you don't have to step out.
Well, he also complains that I tend to throw better blockers when I'm playing against him than anyone else. So that might be a good thing for me.
Tell him, say I've learned by watching you, Jamie.
Yeah, I've also learned some bad things as well too.
Well, that happens to all of us, for sure.
So the other thing is that people talk about is the earbuds. Are you an earbud guy when you're playing?
No, I just tune everything out. I've played a lot of competitive softball, so I've heard the noises and played high school sports, and it doesn't really bother me. And where a lot of people tune, they concentrate better. They'll play their theme song or something to pump them up. The crowd noise doesn't bother me. Somebody chirping in your ear doesn't really bother me at all. I learned a long time ago how to tune that stuff out.
Well, speaking of the theme song, with the ACL going more and more TV time, is there a theme song that you'd be coming out to?
Yeah, man, I'm a big Thunderstruck guy from AC/DC. Then I can drink my beer on the way out with the Thunderstruck beer.
You've made a lot of people up here playing against you Thunderstruck just watching you throw. So
Well, that's
Yeah,
that's
that'd be
that's a
perfect for
that's a
you.
that's a good compliment, Doug, for sure. And I always try to help anybody that I can when I'm playing. It's not always about winning or losing. Sometimes it's just about making friends and helping them along the way.
Well, and you know what? I think that's a testament to you. Is just the way you are around the boards with helping new players. Because I can talk to any one of the players that's in our league up here or been to one of our tournaments, and if I just mention that, if this to say Bobby is going to come up, wants to come up to the tournament, and they know exactly that it's you because I think you've helped so many people in our league up here, just better in all ways, just playing and just kind of the mental aspect of the game. I think
Yeah,
you've really helped a lot of people.
I try. And I've always been that way. And with cornhole especially, and the reason I help so many people, other than just because that's what I do, but if I can make everybody around me better, then I can get better. You cannot get better unless you play somebody as good or better. If we go out and play somebody who can't hit the board, we'll never get better than what we are right now. So if
No,
you can
exactly.
if you can build everybody around you up to the same level or as good or better than you, then you will get better. You will grow with them. Everybody grows together. So we finally, when we went to Albany, it was like 12 or 13 of us that went. And the first year that I traveled with Cornhole, I went a lot of them by myself because there's nobody around that traveled. And finally, I finally got a group of people to travel with. And hopefully, they get this whole border situation taken care of, and we can get back to traveling with you guys some more.
Well, I know we've got plans to come down to see you down there because I know Matt's wanted to come down. I want to go down and check out your facility as well too. And it's just I think
So
it's just fun.
July the 24th, if hypothetically saying that the border is open and you guys can travel, we're having a big tournament here at the casino. And it would be great to have you guys down. I talked to Matt, maybe he can bring some bags down, set a table up or something, but as a vendor, and you guys can come down and hang out and play cornhole and maybe win some money on the slots or the tables or something.
Well, I think my luck on the slots on the table are about the same luck as I have on the boards.
Yeah,
So
I stay away from those two.
unless you're gonna pull the handle or do the cards for me, I'm not gonna be winning.
I get beat over the head at them slot machines too. They love
So
seeing me come in there because they know that this guy ain't winning.
well, you know what? I really want to thank you for coming on and talking. I know you've been a real help to me. I can message you, and there's been a couple of times where I've had someone back out last minute, and even for the live shows I did back last summer, you had no problem stepping in, and I want to thank you for that, for helping me get to 100 shows. Like I said, you're on show 2, and I wasn't sure if I was getting to show 3,
Yeah,
but
and look where
you've been
you are
right here for
now,
the whole time.
all the way up to 100 already.
That's I still can't believe it. So.
Hopefully, I can be on there for 200 too.
Well, you know what? We'll set that. You'll
We'll
be
set
back
it up
here
for
for the
this.
200 show.
It would be I guess that's a century, right? 100 years of a century.
Yeah.
So we'll do the
Oh, yeah.
century shows.
Yeah. Exactly. So again, thanks for doing this here, and we'll hope to talk to you soon.
Hey, yeah, thanks for having me, Doug, and you guys be safe up there.
Okay.
Have a good night.
And again, I want to thank Bobby for coming on and talking there. I know he had a great second place in a blind draw, then tied for 7th in the open singles. Then he had the 25th, tied for 25th in the open doubles, and then tied for 17th in the pro shootout. Just a great tournament for him. Great guy, and glad to see that he did really, really well. And yeah, so because like I said, all around great guy. So that's it. If you're in Ontario here, you can start playing cornhole now. We're open. 10 people can get together and play cornhole. And yeah, so I know I'm assuming I'm going to be seeing a whole bunch of leagues kind of start doing a cornhole club and invite only thing in here, and it's just paving the way. Hopefully, we can get another month. We can go up to 25 people in an outdoor facility, and it'll be great. I know if you're in the Aurelia, Alliston, Innisfil area, I know Moondog had some issues with some people not liking that he was going to be playing in an open park facility with 10 people. I'm not sure who that would have been, but don't fret. He was full. He had 20 people each night for an hour of 10 and an hour of 10. He was full, ready to go. And like I said, someone became a little bit of a Karen, and not to put anything bad on other Karens, but you know. So yeah, so now he has another event place. So if you signed up with Moondog and you're in the Alliston, Aurelia, Innisfil area, you'll be getting a message saying where to show up to play. Because no one likes anyone who wants to try and say, oh, look, they're not playing somewhere. Whatever. Get that going. Let's get everyone going, playing again, getting those bags flying, and let's get another 100 shows here. Have some fun. It's YouTube. We're just here for fun. And yeah, so that's it for another show. Look for some more stuff coming up. Another collaboration with another podcast I'll be doing coming up here soon. I've got to be once I get done recording this here, I will be setting that up to do. And there's an ACL Open this weekend. I believe we're at West San Diego this weekend. I think. Pretty sure. They're going like fast and furious now. Like wow, like there's something going on every weekend. Check that out. See if you got. I don't think Cornhole's on this weekend on CBS because there's some other stuff I'll be watching on CBS. But that's it for another show. Check out the ACL Digital Network for games this weekend if they are on that there. If not, check for a whole bunch of Facebook feeds. You'll be seeing players going live from San Diego. And until next week, have fun playing bags if you're in Ontario. Start throwing them. Getting them going. Get back playing. Have some fun. And as always, watch out for those players on gas because if it's anything like the weekend in Albany, they will kick your ass.